Rabbi Doug, I'm sure he's the cutest little lug. But with Rabbi Phil, you're gonna get right up the hill. You got your Rabbi Steves and you got your Rabbi... what rhymes with Steve? Reeve? Rabbis like to reeve. Get it? Reeve means argue. Rav, Reeve. Rav is rabbi. Reeve. Okay. But the only reason that the rabbis argue, like we said before in previous episodes, is to get to the truth and to defend the Shechina. And for the real rabbis, not those other rabbis, but when their argument is for the sake of Klal Yisrael and for the sake of God. It's not for their own sake. They're not perfect. However, if this person has a good heart, that's all he needs. Everything else will work out. All you need is a good heart. So just daven for a good heart. So, you students out there, you all went to the mikveh, I'll assume you made tshuva. I'm assuming that you're following the law. And you may ask, how can Rabbi Phil teach the Zohar and even try to explain it to the public at large on the internet, when the Zohar itself heaps vociferous curses on anybody who teaches even one letter of the Torah to a non-Jew? Sorry, I have to take this call, and then I'll get the answer. Hi, Ilana. I'm recording. Let me call you back in 10 minutes. Bye. So, where were we? Yes. As we said in another segment, based on Rabbi Yoel Schwartz Shlita, the great rabbi of the Noachide Court book, one of his books, he brings many places in the Talmud that when the Torah was given at Mount Sinai, it was given in 70 languages. That means it was given for the 70 nations. And also when we entered Israel, on Mount Gerizim and Har Eval, the tribes of Israel put up, Moses commanded them to put up a rock and write the Torah on that rock, that it should be a witness. And this witness was taken by the nations, the Canaanites and other nations that were living in Israel at that time, and they learned the Torah, and they became obligated to fulfill the Torah. And if one takes upon an obligation before God and he doesn't fulfill it, oy vavoy lo, as we say in Hebrew, oy ve'gevalt, he's in big, big trouble. So that's this Kabbalah is an obligation. But what I'm doing here is I'm just giving a taste of the study of the Kabbalah, so that some people say you can't learn it until you know the entire Torah. Don't know the entire Torah, so you go to shul on every Shabbos, or you open up your Bible once a week and you read the Parsha, and then you know the Haftarot, and you have the prophets. And then, so it's not the entire book of the prophets and the writings, but still. And there's the Megillot on the Chag. You get the 3 of the 5 Megillot, Ruth, and you get Lamentations on Yom Kippur, on Tisha B'Av. And it's slowly. And then, what about the Mishnah? So you go to a class, whatever. If you don't feel worthy, you're probably not watching this. Little by little, little by little, And I'm not giving over any mysteries here. The Zohar has already been translated and explained for the public at large. So I didn't start it. It's already out there. So let's start to learn. This is the Tikkuni Zohar. Again, we're around Daf Mem Hey Amud Bet. We'll just quickly recap what we said last time. Devar acher em tishkavun, if em tishkavun ben shvatayim. if you sleep between the cooking pots, you look up in Psalm one of the Psalms, I think it's 68, Psalm 68, if you sleep between the cooking pots, a sign of degradation. We don't create, if is in Hebrew is im, and mother is em. You just change the vowel, and cooking pots, shvatayim, sounds like svatayim, lips. So we retranslate that as the mother is resting, lying down among the pots. That's akin to the mother bird, like an eagle waking up her nest, fluttering over her chicks. But the chicks are Israel. These are like chicks. When Israel goes to the prayer, we're like little chickies, little sweet little chickies in the nest, making tif tif. And the beautiful Hebrew is an onomatopoetic way of expressing the sound of the birds. Mitzaftzafim, tif 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 tif, mitzaftzafim, mitzaftzafim la bekama tiftzufim ditzota. That they're chirping this beautiful music in the words of the prayer with their mouths. That's the connection between the lips and the verse that talks about A equals B, B equals C. Im tishkufun ben shvatayim al tikra im. Don't read if im, but read mother m. If the mother is sleeping between the lips, meaning the mother in heaven. God is not a father, He's not a mother, He's not a son, He's not a bride, He's not a grandfather. God is beyond all name and description. We just use this language to understand something of the connection between the infinite and this world we live in. So it's akin, when we pray, it's akin to the divine energy that God is sending down and dressing in the world of the worlds and the sfirot, and God is dressing in the sfirot and in the partsufim, the divine images, and coming down like the mother coming down on the chicks. That's us when we're on the shul and Yom Kippur, which is this starts just before sunset this Friday night. I hope to see you there. With joy, with pleasure. So back to the teachings. So the little chicks are singing about wanting food from the mother, and that's the representation of our prayer before God. And she descends down upon her children, and each one. And she gives food to each one as is according to her, as is according to his needs. In other words, God gives everybody what they need. And some people are poor, some people are rich, a lot of people are middle class, but some people they change class or whatever. But that's the idea is that you don't have to. Don't feel angry about God about what He's giving you. Even if the situation is very difficult, I bless you to find a solution. So, bless you you pray that God should get you a job, and not just pray, but go out and do everything you can to find the job. And if not, there's charitable organizations. But not to say, God, why you put me in this situation? You ruined my life. You didn't give me enough money. It's over between you and me. What is this? What is this? We're like, what do we know? What do we know? Anachnu ma, what are we? That we understand the way God runs the world. God gives everyone according to His needs. And He wants our input, like they say in America. It sounds like probably has some Jewish wisdom to it. God helps those who help themselves. Lahavdil. It doesn't sound like a Jewish statement, but it sounds like Jewish sense. Meaning, okay, it's Jewish. It's a Jewish idea. God helps those who help themselves. Back to the Zohar. So that's what the Zohar means when he says the mother bird gives each chick according to the chick's needs. God is taking care of His whole creation, no matter how dark it seems. We don't see the big picture. We don't see all of everything that's going to happen in the future and all the ramifications of the actions of when somebody's born and somebody dies. God has His plans, and His plans are good. We just don't understand His plans, and we have to bow our heads. That's the attitude of the Torah. God has given us much good. Everybody has much good in their life. There's so much abundance in the world today. Even in poor people in the United States. Every poor person in the United States has an apartment that they're living in, and they usually have cable TV, and they usually have a car. So forget your troubles, come on, get happy. Back to the Zohar. So the Zohar, is it talking about God giving people food and money? No, the Zohar says God is giving the food of the Torah. Not by bread alone does man live, but by every word that comes out of God's mouth. He who does not have a mouth, does man live. It's just an image to understand an idea. What is the food of the Torah? The Zohar says that's the food of the soul. Soul food. So you want soul food? You go to shul and you pray. And you get Torah food. And you get soul food. And you enrich your soul. And God will take care of you financially and otherwise. That is based on your actions. And it's based on your mazal. And it's but in the end, I believe with perfect faith that we'll look back and we'll see the big picture. We'll see how everything is fair. So, quickly to recap what we did last time, if she rests between the pots, this is the mother, the supernal mother. Now, what does it mean, supernal mother? See, there's different things called partsufim. Y'all see this? And a partsuf, just to teach you, if you want to know what a partsuf is. You see these 10 sfirot on the side? It goes 3 columns, right? 1, 2, 3. 3 vertical columns. And there's 3 triads, right? These are all divine illuminations, the vessels of spirituality, the vessels that connect the infinite and the finite. It's the essence of everything in the world, the spiritual essence. It's inside the DNA. It's a purely abstract force that fuels anything physical in the world. And there's 10 of them, 10 sfirot, and you put them in this arrangement called the Tree of Life, and it's called a partsuf, a mask, a divine image, meaning God dresses in this so-called family in heaven. And this is a hint that the Kabbalists are giving, just in order to understand, an anthropomorphic hint. We do not pray to what a sphira. We do not pray to Zeranpin. We only pray to the essence of the infinite God who created the world, and by whose will all things exist. We only pray to the infinite, the omnipresent, the omniscient, the immanent. God is everywhere. God is everything. And we're praying to the very source. Why? Because he wants our input. He wants us to clean our minds and reflect on things other than material things, and reflect on ethics, and reflect on how to be the best. So I bless you to be the best. So that's the mother is one of these abstract arrangements, a diagram, if you will, of the 10 Sfirot. So this diagram of the 10 Sfirot is called a Partsuf, a divine image, and one of those is the mother. And she goes down on to Netzach and Hod, two of the lower Sfirot. In other words, I think I was wrong last time. The last segment, I think I didn't explain it properly. When she goes down to the chicks, she's going down from, it says the upper mother. I think now that means that she's going down to the lower two Sfirot in herself, meaning from it's as if you could imagine you're sitting and you imagine that your mind and your arms and your legs and your heart and all the energy goes down to your legs, and and down and the mother is sitting, the mother bird, the eagle comes down. We're talking about a nesher. The nesher comes down, and the eagle mother comes down, and she's sitting on her eggs. So who's between her legs? Her chicks. That's all. That's humanity praying. The Jewish people praying. We're all the chicks. And again, we're not praying to the mother. We're not Catholics, thank God. Or people who believe in that a Palestinian shepherd boy actually created the world 2,000 years ago. I find it interesting that people still hold on to such beliefs of perfect men. You might as well believe in Stalin, but there are many fine Christian beliefs of those who do not accept Joshka, as we call him, as a god. You know, we're trying to get away from believing in gods, right? There's only one. So I seem to be getting sidetracked quite easily. So just let's wrap it up. And so the prayer of the Eve of Shabbat, and then that's the soul of all living things. The soul of all living things is the mother. So that's why Eve was called the mother of all life. So it's another phrase is Nishmat Kol Chai. So on the night of Shabbat, it's female. Night is female, day is male. So in the night we say Kabbalah Shabbat on Friday night, and on the day we say the synagogue service, which starts off with Nishmat Kol Chai, basically. And so it goes from the female at night to the male. So in other words, the mother is going down to the son. But the chicks, again, I said it in the last segment, we're all women before God. We're all daughters. We're all brides before God. Anybody who stands to pray anywhere in the world it's a feminine thing. We're yearning for either our husband, or we're yearning for our mother and father, or the grandfather, or higher and higher and higher, to come from the highest heights that can't even be expressed in one of these family members called the Partsuf. So she goes down on the head of the tzaddik, which is the seventh day. Now the tzaddik is usually the sphera of Yesod, but that's interesting because the seventh day, Yesod means foundation. It's at the bottom of the tree. In the body, it's represented by the phallus. So But here it says, so instead of usually the seventh day is Malchut. So Malchut is kingship. It's the bride. It's the people of Israel. It's the Shekhinah that dwells among the people of Israel. That's Malchut, sovereignty. It's the lowest Sfirot in one sense, but it's also a separate divine image, the bride, the daughter bride. So how does the mother? The question that I have on the Zohar is, how does the mother bird descends down? It says on the head of the tzaddik. So and then go on to say that that's the seventh day. Oh, because you have to count the sfirot. She goes from bina. Remember, the mother is bina, understanding. She's the. I'll try to use the diagram here again if it works out. So this is Keter and Chochmah and Bina. That's at the top. So she's going down, down, down. One. It's like count on Sesame Street. The count. One. Bina. Chesed. Chesed. Gevura. 3. Okay. So we got 2, 3. Tiferet 4. Netzach 5. Hod 6. Yesod 7. We said Yesod was tzaddik. Tzaddik. Brachot l'rosh tzaddik. Blessings on the head of the righteous. This is the righteous. So she goes down 7. So that's what he means by the seventh day. But there's another sphere down here. Malchut is the bride, and here's the groom. This could be expressed as if this Partsuf were Zeranpin, that he would be, there would be a superimposed bride that starts about here and goes down, another arrangement of 10 sfirot. So, and the mother is above, and the mother is another arrangement of 10 sfirot. So again, this is one of the images of the groom. And then imagine there's another arrangement of 10 just like this above. Or not only that, but that they fit, that goes all the way, and where does she go down to? The mother goes down to here in Hod. Like the Zohar says, Ima ad Hod idbashtut. And then, going down to Yesod, that's already the province, that's all already other lower levels of the bride and the groom, of the Chatan and Kala. Zeranpin, the small face, and Nukfa, the female. So in that way, we can understand that she goes down on the head of the tzaddik, which is the seventh day, instead of Malchut, because the seventh, if it's Yesod of Zeranpin, if the mother is going down to the ninth, from above to below, the ninth Sfira of Zeranpin, the bride, the groom, then that groom is united with the bride, which is Malchut. So in that way because they're basically, the answer is that the bride and groom are in a state of union when we're praying, at a time of prayer. So in that sense, she can go down to the seventh, and you can still, even though in terms of Ima it goes down to Hod, not all the way down. Sorry, he says she connects, she brings her energy from Hod down to Yesod, from the 8th, from top to below, down to the 9th of Yesod foundation. So that you can say that she's just giving it over to Zeranpin, who's already connected to the bride. And the two lips are Netzach, victory, and Hod, splendor or majesty. So again, that was another way of explaining what I said in the other tape. God bless. This is Kabbalah in the Morning with Rabbi Phil, signing off, wishing you a good, easy fast. And remember, I'm going to stop with one last thing. In the name of Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev, one of the great Hasidic masters, he says, what's the difference between fasting on the 9th of Av, the anniversary of the destruction of the temple? It's as if it was destroyed today, and we're sitting, all Jews all over the world are fasting and mourning the destruction of the temple, especially once a year. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak says, if you're so broken, like our house is destroyed, burned down, it's like losing one's father. Or if one's so broken, who can eat? It's broken-hearted, you can't eat so well. But on Yom Kippur, it's a big simcha. It's a big joy. We're like angels. We're going up and up and up. You have a good meal in the afternoon, an hour before sunset, and start drinking a lot of water now. Every 2 hours, have a glass of water. And on Yom Kippur, it's such a high thing. We're like angels. Who needs to eat? So, bless you to have a good fast and a good year. And be well. This is Bezalel Edwards wishing you well from Jerusalem.